Have you ever thought about what it takes to start a revolution? We've seen revolutions throughout history for political or social or religious movements. But what if we were to band together to start a revolution around this idea of speech and language development and speech and language stimulation within the home? We're going to be talking about that today, coming up next. Hey, welcome back to Lingaroo, where language comes to life. I'm Jen, and I'm a speech pathologist, and I am so excited that you have found this channel. Hopefully you've had time to check out some of our other videos as well, and if not, maybe you'll do that as soon as we're done here today. But guys, I gotta tell you, I was just on a trip recently to my hometown, Wichita, Kansas, and there were several things on that trip that got me thinking about this idea of a revolution. The first thing was that the last several years that I have gone home, I have noticed this flag flying literally all over the place. And so I looked into it. It's the Wichita flag, and it was actually adopted back in 1937. We've got a picture of it here. But ask any Wichitan, this flag was unknown to most. I have never in my life, like I said, I grew up there my entire life, right outside of Wichita in a little town called Goddard, and I grew up there, and I never had seen this flag until maybe 2 years ago. And sure enough, as it turns out, that's when this revolution started. That's when they brought this flag back, and they started to make a big deal of it. I don't know if it was a city councilman or who it was or which meeting they were in when they decided, hey guys, this is what we should do. Let's start a revolution. Let's bring back the flag. But literally, I will tell you, you can see it all over the place. Businesses are flying it, homes are flying it, it's on merchandise, hats, scarves. I mean, you name it, this flag is everywhere, and it has really revolutionized the way Wichitans think about themselves. It's created this sense of pride, a sense of community about who they are as a city and how they want to portray themselves. And it's pretty amazing from someone, like I said, who grew up this whole time while this flag was out there somewhere, unknown, but now it's like this really big deal. And it's pretty cool. The other thing that got me thinking about revolutions was when I was actually boarding my plane. So I'm in Frankfurt, Germany, boarding what's probably going to be like a 9.5-hour flight or something. And I hear this little guy on the jetway. We're all lined up, loading the plane, and I hear this little guy's voice behind me, and didn't really register, to be quite honest. But then I heard his mom respond, and she said, yeah, that's a stanchion. And I'm thinking, what? A stanchion? And I'm trying to be all cool and calm and collected, look back like, I don't know what a stanchion is. I want to get in on this lesson. So this is what I see. Okay, so maybe you knew it was a stanchion. I don't know that I've ever heard that word. I probably would have called it like a divider thingy or a rope. I don't know what I would have called it, but I don't know that I have ever heard the name stanchion. But sure enough, this mom, I look, and the kid's probably 3 years old, and they are now in this full-on conversation about stanchions and what they are and when they're used and why it's helpful. And I am like so excited. Like I'm out of my mind. Like, this is awesome. Right? So I'm really in tune now. So we inch forward, at a snail's pace. And on our left, there's a poster of what, again, in my expertise, is a big old boat. And she, again, to her son, she goes, oh, look at this picture of the ocean liner, and that's a freighter. Look at the cargo it's hauling, and those barrels, those are full of natural gas. And what other forms of energy do we know? And he's like, solar power. And she's like, yes. And she's like, and what about those big tall things out in the fields with the big spinning blades? And he says, wind energy. You guys, it went on and on. And again, I am just like, holy smokes, right? Stanchion mom, you are my hero. You are the model Lingaroo parent. I love this because she was so engaged in making the most of every opportunity, even these boring step-by-step, snail's pace moments of this jetway. And I thought, how awesome is that? That's what I want for this group, right? There was another situation where I was when I was in undergraduate school, I worked at a behavior modification program. So it was a parent program. Parents would come in and they were experiencing some type of difficulty, some type of unwanted behaviors with their kiddos, maybe tantrums or biting or hitting or whatever it was. And we would work with the parents and teach them these very specific strategies, very specific language that they could use with their kiddos. And I was at a grocery store and I heard a mom talking to her child, and she was talking and using these strategies from this regional intervention program or the RIP program. And I instantly knew, oh, she's a RIP mom, right? And I felt this camaraderie, I felt this connection as if I knew her. I didn't. But she was so recognizable because of the language she was using that I instantly knew that something was different. I knew she was a RIP mom. And I thought about that for us. I thought about what if we become so recognizable that we could be at a play date and we could be using language and someone else who knows about this group could say, wait, are you in Lingaroo? Right? Are you using those strategies? And if they aren't, you could tell them about it, right? But that we would band together, this idea of starting a revolution, we would band together and make a change, that we could change the face of history and change the course, most assuredly, of our kiddos' development, because we're becoming so intentional about stimulating speech and language within the home. In recent years, we've seen a lot of studies coming out about how children's language scores are on the decline. They're usually tied to the development of screen time or increased screen time or the development of smartphones where, maybe we as parents are kind of more absorbed or distant or distracted. Most oftentimes they're heaped with a lot of mama guilt or daddy guilt, right? That you guys are not doing your job. And that's not my goal. That's not what I want to feed into or play up in this group. But I do want to encourage you that what if starting now, we change the way we think, we start this revolution, and we start to see kids' language skills moving back up and to the right. And so much so that in 5 years, 10 years down the road, they would look at this trend and they'd be like, holy smokes, I don't know what started in 2019, but something changed. And we would know, but they might not know. Guys, we've got this kangaroo back here. It's our logo, it's this mama with her baby, and she's just carrying that baby, and they're just going through life, right? She's got that baby that's captive audience, and don't you know, at least I hope, that kangaroo mama is talking every step of the way, every hop. And that's my hope for this group. I looked up, what is a group of kangaroos called? And there are several options, but the one that I really loved was Lingaroo Troop. What if we, you and we become the Lingaroo Troop? What if we become Troopies of sorts, studying and learning as much as we can, get our hands on about this idea of speech and language stimulation within the home? So would you join me in that? I would love it if you would join me in this process. Engage with this community. Go to Facebook and like that page, follow that page. But not just to hear from me. I want you guys to engage and get involved. I want you guys to share your stories of what's working. Share your stories of what didn't work and maybe figure out why together, right? I never wanted you guys to just show up and listen to me and hear me talk. That's not my hope for this community. I really want you to get involved, and I really want you to engage and with the idea that you will learn as much from each other as you do from me. Right, so guys, if you haven't already, go over to Facebook and like that page, follow us, and join in the discussions. Comment on those posts, and let's develop some community around this idea. If you haven't already, click here and subscribe to this channel. Click that bell icon, and that'll tell you every time we upload content. Okay, so guys, in the comments below, before we go, I want you to go down and just comment with a yes or a let's do this, whatever it is, that just to show us that you are joining in this revolution where we're going to change the way we think about speech and language development in our homes. And I'll see you next time here at Lingaroo, where language comes to life.